Oh, Travis, I'm gonna need your help again. How do I re-blur the background? I've been doing what I used to do and it ain't working no more, so help your sis out. What's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog, so let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, Roxstars, I know you guys didn't expect to see me so early. It's a day early, but you know why? It's the end of the month, and you already know. I'm not only getting top of the blogs up early, but I'm going to try really hard to get Reasonable Doubt up on Friday, because the 31st is Friday. We're going to try to get all the coins that we can on this check, because this month I have been very consistent with sticking up with my, keeping on track with my, my video schedule, and I can see it reflected. So I'm just trying to close strong, you guys. First story up. You guys already know I am going to send prayers up for my Jamaican rock stars, my rock stars that are over in Jamaica visiting, my rock stars that have family over in Jamaica, the people that live there. I'm telling you, the Caribbean has been getting battered and beat and bruised. Jamaica's considered part of the Caribbean, right? Don't let me mess it up, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, they have been getting battered and beat and bruised. These hurricane systems have been just coming through every year and wreaking some kind of havoc. If it's not over in Jamaica, it's over in Puerto Rico, Cuba, you know, just that whole path of islands. They get hit hard. And this time we got Hurricane Melissa, and she's down there giving them the what for. I didn't even really know that the storm was headed there when I had my Roxy Reads book club, which we still welcome all. We were in, we had a meeting on Sunday, and one of the, was it Love Drunk? One of the Roxy readers actually was there. She lives there, or was there, and yeah, I think she lived there. You know, she was just going to have to ride it out, she said. She was riding it out. They were going to be there. You know, a lot of people were able to get out, but the majority of folks, you know, are not able to leave. I mean, that's where they live. Where are they supposed to go? You know, I'm sure people that were there visiting was really trying hard to get out, especially those that were, you know, there for vacations and all. But even those people didn't all get out. I've been watching videos of people that are there. This one particular couple that's been staying at this resort, and not only do they have to worry about, you know, their safety with this hurricane, but the resorts are still charging them all this money. Some of them are charging them even more money to stay. And just a really terrible situation all the way around, you guys. If I was over in Jamaica during this time, I'm telling you, this is one of the reasons why it's making me less and less eager to go to the islands. It's just the weather pattern is too volatile. And I am terrified. I have grown to become terrified of water. Like, I can look at water, I can look at the beach, I can sit out at the beach and watch the waves and all that and hear the waves crashing. I love the sound of that, but the thought of getting into Mother Nature's bowl, less and less I want to do it. I don't want to go on no cruises. I definitely don't want to go on any smaller boats. When we went to Cancun, Mr. wanted me to get on one of them little ass boats to go over to the Arches. I was like, are you fucking crazy? Ain't no way I'm getting on a little canoe to get out there in the middle. Oh, you gonna have a life jacket on? I do not care. So I can't imagine being there and feeling trapped, because even though a island is huge and, you know, there's thousands and, you know, many people there, it still feels very small when you think about the globe of water and, you know, all of that. And this, when you look at the cloud, when you look at the storm, well, the weather radar, when you look at those pictures, I mean, that shit looks like it's just sitting over the island and you can't see any of the island. Do you know how, just talking about it, just looking at that damn radar thing had me so, my anxiety up, because I was like, I cannot imagine being there. Now, of course, we've been seeing the videos on TikTok and on YouTube and Instagram and everywhere. And, you know, people are doing the best that they can. I've seen a lot of funny videos, you know, people just really saying they're not afraid. And, you know, I'm sure they do get inclement weather, you know, so I'm sure that they're used to it, although they're saying that this storm is bigger than they've had in many, many, many years. It was like 37 years or something like that. So, yeah, they said that Sangster International Airport is completely like blown. You know, I saw a video also of that airport, and you could see the windows were out. It was water all in there. There's no power, obviously. And I mean, the airport is even down. So people couldn't get out even if they wanted to. And I guess folks are just going to have to ride it out. I guess they're saying that by Saturday, they believe that the weather, you know, the major parts of this system will have passed. And, you know, they'll start getting back to opening up and letting people try to get out of there and everything. But for the most part, people just got to hunker down and ride it out. And that just makes me really, really, really nervous for the people there, you know. But so far, when I was reading up, I didn't see, I think they said 7 people had died so far. Of course, they're in the thick of it right now, so they don't have time to really be counting deaths and, you know, letting us know for sure exactly what is happening there. Those numbers will probably go up more as, you know, as the week goes on, if this thing does not redirect itself and move on somewhere. But they're saying right now the path that it's on, that's like Jamaica, is going up, and it's going to be hitting Cuba next, and maybe it'll dissipate, you know, some by the time it gets there, and by the time it gets to the U.S. coast, you know, down there in Miami and everything, maybe it'll be a tropical storm or something like that, or maybe it'll shift and go back over the water. That's what they're really hoping. But yeah, so, you know, it's affected the weather here and the weather everywhere else. You know, on this side of the United States, we've been having very, very, very cold weather. I mean, it is cold right now, which I'm not complaining. I am not complaining, but it's cold right now, and it's not normally this cold this fast. Like last week, we were like in the 80s, and now it is literally at night, we in the 40s, okay? And so we don't usually get to cold 40, 30, 20 and the teens, of course, until like January. That's when it really starts to get cold. But yeah, it don't normally start this early. Usually mid-November, beginning of December, it starts to get cold. And then, like I said, once we hit really truly are in winter, that's when we start seeing the 30s and the 20s and the teens. But again, I'm welcoming it all because it helps me out with my personal summers that I'm sure that they're going to still be coming, but I just got medication, so hopefully that shit will be going away soon. Yeah, my heart goes out and prayers go up for all people that are affected over there, because just another example of climate change. Like, these storms have gotten more and more devastating. I mean, we used to have hurricanes, and yeah, it would wreak havoc and everything, but they would move on and people would rebuild and be ready. Now, this shit wipes out whole islands. The whole places just be completely gone. What's going on with Maui, child? We ain't heard nothing about Maui. I guess Maui they don't want nobody over there, so they keep that shit on the hush. But yeah, I just was thinking about Maui and the shit that happened to them too. But yeah, you know, these folks are getting more and more affected by this. I mean, the writing is on the wall, but you know, there are still many people that don't believe in climate change. Go figure. Anyway, I just wanted to mention the storm. I'm praying for everybody out there. Y'all going and send one up for your favorite Jamaican, and those that you may know and love that are over there. I just hope that, you know, they land on the other side of this storm with with too much devastation and definitely no lives lost. Okay, and that's that on that, and let's move on to the next story. All right, you guys, so the Verzuz battle that happened on Saturday night, y'all. Now, first of all, I did not get to see it live on Saturday. I did not even know it was on because I don't even really scroll Instagram too much anymore. Like, usually I am just looking at people's stories, because those are the people that I follow. So those are the people that I actually am interested in. You know, Instagram has gotten to the point where it's so much other shit that you did not ask to see. that I don't never really post on my feed anymore. I mean, I post on my stories all the time, but I don't post pictures and videos like on my feed. It's just, I just don't do it. So I didn't even know that this battle was happening. And then we was having a minor crisis, child, with my dear daughter. It's always something. That child is going to take some time off my life, y'all. I promise you. Anyway, bless her heart. So I didn't even realize I was handling what I was handling. And by the time I finished handling it, I kept hearing like Cash Money in the living room. Mr. was in the living room on his phone, and I kept hearing stuff. And then I realized that he was watching at least a concert or some kind of live something that had Cash Money on it. That's all I kept hearing. And then every now and then I would hear Master P, and I was like, oh, something is going on. I still didn't know it was a versus battle, but I had posted something on Instagram stories, and somebody was like, Roxanne, are you watching the battle? And I was like, child, I didn't even know no battle was on. I said, no, Mister's in the living room watching it. That's why I picked up in that video. So I didn't watch it then. I, of course, saw all the antics that happened after the fact. We'll talk about it in a minute, but I did end up watching it today because I was like, y'all gonna be so sick of me getting up here saying I didn't watch some shit, but then I'm trying to talk to y'all about it. So I actually just watched it, and that shit was, first of all, let me just say that shit was a whole lot of fun. I wish I was there. Like, shout out to, I know that the New Orleans people, they was loving that, even though it was so short, but they need to do something else because it was so well oiled. Like, everything went smoothly. We're gonna talk about the conversations afterwards, but just the whole battle and everything, that shit went smoothly. They didn't have no sound issues. The people out there looked like they was enjoying themselves. It was no drama out in the audience. Like, it was a good fucking time. Like, that reminded me of like something like West Coast artists. If they could all fucking get along, they would all be able to get up there and do that too. Man, it would be awesome to see. So yeah, I know that the New Orleans people, I know they was living for all of that, but the shit was only an hour long, and I felt like it could have went longer, but I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it because you guys, both Cash Money and No Limit were like when I was in my 20s. So just imagine young Rocky, at the clubs with all of that. Now in LA, No Limit they didn't really play No Limit. Okay, they didn't really play No Limit on the West Coast, but they played the hell out of Cash Money. And that's why I am a Cash Money fan. I can't believe I'm about to say this because, child, I was watching it. I already had an idea from the clips that I had seen. And then, the way that Baby closed it out. But when I was watching it, I was like, oh, yeah. I had already decided that Cash Money did not win that battle, that it was actually No Limit, but not that it should have been like a battle where we're comparing each other and everything, but I just felt like Master P's whole production just was a little tighter, just a little bit more, and I just cannot believe I'm saying that, you guys, because when I tell you I am Cash Money, I'm Cash Money. I don't even really know Master P's songs except for No Limit songs, except for the ones, of course, that were huge hits, which I talked about. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you guys what stood out for me and everything. Now, the way they did it, it was No Limit started first, and then Cash Money would have an answer, and they went back and forth like that. Okay, so just like a regular versus battle, how we're used to seeing them go. No Limit started, let me see, what did they start with? I don't even know what the first song was, but Master P was up there in all his camouflage, everybody up there in their camouflage. I was like, ooh, they would have never been able to be on Real Housewives of Potomac up there in the Nevis or Nevis. What did you guys tell me it was called? Somebody was like, Roxanne, that is not how it's pronounced. It's simply Nevis. Nevis. I said, I'm gonna fuck it up again. Shit. Anyway, Master P is out there. He's jogging in place, the whole time, that's like synonymous with Master P's always rap like that, just a quick little jog. We ain't doing too much dancing. We ain't doing nothing else, but we gonna jog back and forth across that stage. So I don't know the song that they started with. I will say that when Mia X came out there, that Mia X looks and sounds great. Okay, Mia X always reminded me of Sugar T. You guys remember dollar 40 water Sprinkle me, man. You guys remember Sugar T in that song that used to be with E40 all the time? Okay, so Mia X, I've always, even though they don't sound alike, they do sort of sound alike. They don't rap the same, but they kind of have like that same kind of voice like this, you know. So it was good seeing Mia X. Like I said, she looks really good, sounds really good, didn't get winded up there and everything. I was like, these people must still travel and do like shows and everything. Because baby, even Master P, I was impressed. I was impressed with all that jogging and shit that he didn't get tired. So anyway, they started out, right? Then Cash Money came with Hood Rich. Got everything in my mama name, but that's okay, cause I still fly. Y'all, that used to be Ruby, my mama. She used to love that song. She thought it was so funny that, you know, the shit that they said in that song. So every time it would come on, like if we would be in the car or something, you know, she would laugh, say, what'd he say? What'd he say? Everything in his mama name. She always got a good little giggle off of that. Let me say that thank God Juvenile was there. Like, I love Juvenile. He really did carry the battle. He really did carry the battle because Juvenile still can rap. He still sounds exactly like he did on his album. He's got a little sexiness to him now, you know. I'm just like, okay, so yeah, thank God that Juvie was there. Even though I was very upset, let me say, I was very upset that they didn't do dun, 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 dun. Huh? How's it go? I got the paper chaser, you got my block on fire, remain in the G until the moment you aspire. You know what it is. There's something in the sign and one of the thing. Don't be crying in the shuffling. I know I told you guys a story before, but my friend Val, I remember when I lived over on Glasgow Road 90045, you guys, in you people wanted to say it was Westchester, but it was really Inglewood. But anyway, I remember in my home, Val came over and she was like, Roxanne, it's this song, and you gotta listen to it. And I remember when we first played that damn song on my Iowa stacked stereo, we had that shit blasted so loud that our landlord came down. He was like, now y'all gonna have to turn this down. That shit was the jam. So I was very upset that they didn't do that, okay? But, you know, Juvenile has a lot of hits, and they had to play some of the other songs, too. And this is Cash Money. I mean, that is part of Cash Money, though. But I think Juvie had his own album. You know, all of them had their own albums and stuff. But, yeah, I was upset that they didn't do, you got the paper chaser, you got the block. Ha. That's what it's called, right? Huh. Okay. But anyway, getting back to it. We got back up there, and we had Make 'Em Say, na 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 na. Now see, the thing is, the reason why we weren't big Master P fans is because Master P's music was always too slow. Like Cash Money's music made us want to dance, and see, LA folks like to dance. At least back then. I don't know what they doing now, but I know back when I was clubbing, we all like to dance. So, you know, Master P, his whole little shtick, you know, their whole thing was like they were soldiers, and it was like kind of military and militant, and it was just a little different. It was a little different for us. But of course, the big hits would get played over in LA as well. So that's why I know Make 'Em Say, na 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 na. Let's see, what else did they play? Choppers out, chop chop, choppers out, choppers out, chop chop, Simo, chop chop, Simo, chop chop, Simo, chop chop. Val, if you watching this, girl, I hope you watched it, girl, because it was a good time. You would have had a good time. Let's see, what else did they play? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Fuck them other niggas, I drive for my niggas. Fuck them other niggas, I drive for my niggas. Fuck them other niggas, I drive for my niggas. I die for my niggas. Fuck them other niggas. Hey! We always liked that song on the West Coast because Snoop Dogg was in there. You know, even though Snoop was only with No Limit for a little while, I guess that time that he was there, that allowed Snoop to get some distance from the foolishness that was going on at Death Row and all of that. Get some space between them, you know, maybe save his life, because it was hot. Shit was hot in them streets around that time. But yeah, so they did that. Then Cash Money, they did What You Need, Girl, I Need a Hot Girl. What You Need, Girl, I Need a Hot Girl. I need a They played a Millie, Motherfucker, I'm ill. Hey, a million here, a millionaire. I'm a young money millionaire. Tougher than Nigerian hair. Okay. They closed out with Back That Ass Up because that is truly the biggest hit that any of them. I don't know if that was the biggest hit at that time, but that is the song that still has longevity. They still play Back That Ass Up today here, at least in Atlanta, like it was part of the top 40s still. Okay. So, it was a good time. All good music. Every time they panned out to the audience, everybody looked like they was having a good time. There was no drama up on the stage, minus that fool, Tamar. I swear, that child is such a bird. Oh God, I don't even want to make this about Tamar. But she and them antics up there, I just was like, why don't nobody tell her that she needs to stop? It's almost downright embarrassing. It's not almost. It is embarrassing that that she just, the way that she is, I'm just like, oh my God. And she loves that. She loves the attention. It could be negative or positive attention. As long as she has eyes on her, that's what makes her happy. And I was just like, girl, if you don't get from up there wiping this nigga's head, you guys already know that they say that them two dated Birdman and Tamar back in 2003. And they also say that Tony dated Vince a long, long time ago. I kind of feel like they even said that before, but that's the stories that's floating around out there. It's like these niggas just be shifting women and the women be trading off men and all of this stuff. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just telling you what the damn rumors are, that Tamar and Birdman did have something. I think that's pretty well documented. It wasn't a long-term anything, but they did, at least date and mess around for some point. So just that whole Braxton family is weird. Okay. I know everybody loves the Toni Braxton, and I do too. I love her music, but the family, they should have never did another season or two or whatever of the Braxtons, the way that they all showing out and making me not like none of them. I never thought I would not like Toni. And I just like, not that I don't like her, but I can see like this ego and this kind of weirdness. They all just fucking strange. And shout out to their mama, because she the reason that they are the way that they are. Okay, but anyway, this ain't about the Braxtons. Even though let Tamar tell it. Okay, you should see your man out there. This nigga was a trending topic. I was trying to tell the nigga. Oh my God, somebody get her. Y'all saw when he was walking in and that rapper guy that's known in New Orleans was trying to talk to him, and she was just like a crackhead in the background, like, we ain't gonna be talking. They didn't pay her no attention. She sat up there and did all that foolishness. I said, bitch, if you don't go sit down. So, and Birdman ignored it. They act like that heifer was not even there. I was like, boy, shout out to y'all that can just tone a bitch out like that. Shit. Anyway, back to the thing. So once it was over and we were like, okay, this is good. It's been good times and all, and then they gave them the damn microphones, and that's when the shit fell apart, child. Cause, not Baby, but the other one that everybody say look like a lesbian. Why I can't think of his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Manny Fresh. So first Manny Fresh, said some things, how they started and all, and then they gave that damn thing to Birdman, and I was like, oh, I was saying baby, huh? I know y'all been up there typing and correcting me that whole time, but I meant Birdman, not Baby, child. Why was I saying baby? Oh, I know that was wearing y'all out. Oh, Roxanne. Oh no, it's not Birdman. Who's baby? Child, Birdman. So anyway, they gave the damn microphone to Birdman, and then that's when it fell apart because he started talking about, he was trying to shout out like Cash Money, the original members or whatever. And you guys know there's drama with him and Turk. So he was just like, shout out to Turk, fuck you, you not here, and then he tried to soften it up. Like, I was like, are you trying to compliment him? Or are you trying to talk shit about him? Like, what you doing? Like, we love you, but when it ain't nothing gonna stop this show. Basically like the No Limit is Cash Money gonna go on with or without him. So I was just like, I don't really know, that's nigga shit. It's, drama going on there. I did know that there was drama with Turk and them, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not up on the New Orleans beefs and all of that stuff. Actually, funny thing is I had got into the car the next day on the radio, and he actually had called in to Young Jock's radio show. And you guys know I listened to his show. And he was positive. He was just like, I wasn't there because I wasn't invited. He was like, I don't go places that I wasn't invited. I don't stay at places that I wasn't invited. Like, he was like, no, I'm not. He was like, I'm out here doing my thing. You know, they was doing that. And he was just big up in them, like, you know, hey, shout out to them guys. They did their thing. And he kept it very, very positive, which was refreshing because, you know, niggas and their egos and it'd be drama, street shit and all that, you know. I mean, I'm sure Turk ain't trying to get in trouble. Was Turk the one that was in jail? I mean, everybody probably was in jail at some point. I shouldn't say that. But, like, you know, I just like the fact that he wasn't, even though it's probably, you could probably read between the lines on some of that shit, you know, I still like the fact that he didn't feed into the drama any more than it needed to be, you know, baby. I mean, why I keep wanting to call that nigga baby? Birdman, the shit that he said, that, you know, it was so unnecessary. You could see when Juvenile just did his face like, here this nigga go. Like, we almost made it through a whole performance without him bringing some fucking drama onto this whole thing. Like I said, Juvenile held that shit down. It was good to see him up there, and minus, you know, the Birdman shit. I enjoyed it. It was good times, and I was at my desk listening to it. And I kept on like snapping and dancing at my desk. And then I was like, Lord, Roxanne, bring it down, child. You supposed to be over here working. Plus, we just got a new girl. She don't need to hear me sing and make them say, Child, it was a great time. Now, let's talk about some of the other stuff. I already talked about Tamar and they weirdness. What about the other girl? What was her name? Child, did I get her name? Oh, Mercedes. You know, remember Mercedes who featured on that 504 Boys song? You know, that look in my eyes, then they said any nine, then it nothing the fuck. And you ain't gotta come in your boo, cause it's a good for fuck. I wanna fuck you too. I say, you know, when I look in your eyes, I can look in your eyes, and then you know you wanna fuck. This nigga that I used to know a long time ago, she used to always sing that stupid ass song at my job, and we used to laugh and shit anyway. First of all, I don't know where you would have fit, sis. It was a million people may move that damn crackhead ass Tamar. I shouldn't call that child crackhead. Y'all gonna get mad at me. But if y'all had moved her, maybe you could have brought old Mercedes on there. At least she had a song to perform, but yeah, she was over on the sidelines and she was mad that she didn't get there. I've read a bunch of different things. You know, they said that she was late and all this. I don't know how true that was. But the guy from 504 Boys that got up there the next day and was like, he saw that Mercedes was upset and he wished that she could have been up there too, but she wasn't invited. And, you know, they were real strict on who was up there, you know, who was going to be there and all that. So it wasn't up to him. You know, they asked him to come, so he came. But she was saying that she was going to sue somebody or get, you know, press some charges of legal action, take some legal action. And I was just like, well, sis, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. Okay. Even though I didn't know if she had wrote the song or owned the masters or anything, something told me that maybe she didn't. And of course she didn't. Like that guy said, he was like, that's not her song. You know, I wrote my part. The other people that had their parts in the song wrote their part. And she was invited on to the song, but she don't have really no rights to it. So I was just like, well, that's kind of what I thought. But sis was mad. Why am I over here with Timberland? I was just like, girl, are you comparing yourself to Timberland? Because maybe we could say why Timberland ain't out there. So it was Timberland's thing, so he didn't have to be out there. But girl, I mean, I felt bad for her because you could tell she wanted to be up there. Somebody in the comments said she must have told her whole family that she was gonna be on. And she was gonna be performing. Now you got to be going back and telling Big Mama and them why you wasn't up there and shit. I know how you feel, girl. I know how you feel. But so yeah, that was pretty much it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I feel like they really could have did this. Is it true that this was the first time? Because was it BG? I mean, was it Manny Fresh or was it Juvenile? One of them said, you know, this is the first time that Cash Money and No Limit was on, you know, the stage together. They could very well do something. I did not think that No Limit was going to be as tight as they were, and they were tight. They was good. Cash Money was good too, but it still didn't feel quite the same. I can't really put my finger on it. You guys let me know, but it wasn't really a battle like that. It was just a good time for the New Orleans people and everybody else, you know, watching in. So yeah, y'all let me know what you thought about it. Shit, I could have just done a review of it and made a video out of it because I didn't talk about it for the whole length of this damn video, you guys. So I guess I'm going to Let's see. How many more stories do I have? No, let's put one more story on this one. Y'all let me know what you thought about the Verzuz battle. Did you have No Limit? Did you have Cash Money? Did you enjoy both? Y'all put all that below. Next story. All right, you guys, prayers up for Masika Kalicia's estranged husband. You guys, he was killed in an automobile accident. Actually, he was on the I-10 in going west in Houston. I was like, that I-10 goes all the way across the country, you guys. But anyway, he was on the I-10 going west in Houston, and somebody in a BMW got onto the on-ramp, you know, and went on the wrong, it was a wrong direction driver. So they were going east. And of course, the rest of the traffic was coming west on the highway. And I guess, you know, he didn't see it. You know, that shit is crazy to see. When you see a car coming your way, when your mind is telling you everybody should be going that way, I just don't know how you would even react, like seeing headlights and shit. That, you know, so the car was coming, they ran into him, and then I guess he was hit by him, and then he was swerved over into an 18-wheeler. He was in a Tesla, the Cybertruck. The other BMW, it burst into flames when you know, when there was impact, and then he was hit by the 18-wheeler and was killed. The person in the BMW died as well. Now, this is Masika Kalicia's estranged husband. Apparently, they're still married, but they're not together any longer. I kind of remembered a little bit about Masika, like, because I don't follow Masika or anything that Masika does. Like, is she on one of them Zeus shows, child? I wouldn't even know, because, you know, I don't fuck with the Zeus. I don't fuck with Neighborhood Talk because of it, because that show has to pay Neighborhood Talk, child. But anyway, I mean, that channel, that station, they have to. But anyway, I remember her getting married or saying something, and then I remembered her having a baby, but I haven't really seen Masika or anything, so I had no idea that, I had forgotten, I guess, that she was married. So, you know, I saw the story, I saw that she had tweeted that, you know, she had just, it was 2 a.m. and she had woke up to some really bad news, you know, for everybody to pray for her family. And that's when, you know, we found out that it was indeed her estranged husband, Jamar Champ. He was 38 years old. So he was helping when they were together. They had a baby together. Like I said, a little girl. That baby looks like maybe it's a year or two, a couple of years old. And then, of course, we know that she has her oldest child with, y'all know who I'm talking about, the one that's in jail. What is his name? Something about a dope queen. Y'all know who I'm damn talking about with the eye. Y'all know, the eye. Anyway, she's a trap queen. That's it. And then a got queen. I got all these songs in my head right now, so y'all know. Y'all excuse me, but you know, she has still has the daughter with him, Fetty Wap, and then that's his name. Did I already say it? This memory. But yeah, very sad story. And even though I don't like Masika in any kind of way, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, that's sad. People say that she was saying things to get attention and everything. And I was just like, I mean, you know, people, that's what people do nowadays. They go to social media when something bad happens. So I'm not even gonna listen if that's what the girl wanted to do, you know, to let everybody know, you know. I feel sorry that her child no longer has a father, you know, that is here. I'm sure there'll be other people that will step up in her life. But yeah, very, very sad story. And prayers up for him, you know, for his family, everybody that, you know, knows that he is no longer here, you know, in that family. So rest in peace to Jamar Champ, and we're going to end the video here. All right, you guys, we do this every single week, so make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars.